Hey guys, how's it going? This is Deadly. Today I'll be sharing with you guys my thoughts on Battlefield 1's open beta and showing some of the cool clips I've had playing the game. I have to admit I didn't devote as much time as I wanted to the beta, but I'll give you guys my first impressions of the game anyway. First off, the game is noticeably similar to Star Wars Battlefront, and I mean that in the best possible way. The new Frostbite engine looks absolutely amazing. So you have two factions to play with. You have the Ottoman Empire, or the beginning of the Ottoman Turks. Not too sure exactly what year this game takes place in. And then you also have the British forces on the other side. I tried out most of the classes, but ended up landing on the Scout, as most people do. And during the beta, you are fitted with an optic by default, so we'll have to see how much you'll need to use a weapon before you're given that ability to use that optic. I also really like the Medic class because it has access to the Regati artillery, which fits the gun with a very cool optic, very similar to the PU scope, so it's probably one of my favorite weapons just for that reason. Also, the 1911 as a primary sidearm is also done extremely well. You don't even need to use your main gun. It's strong enough to just go toe-to-toe with most of the semi-automatic and bolt-action rifles. Like in Star Wars, I was a huge fan of the airplanes, so I really hope DICE doesn't change how they fly like they did in the Star Wars beta. I found the controls to be awesome, really easy to learn, very similar to the Star Wars beta fighters, so I'll be jumping on and trying to use some planes again before the beta ends. I really do need to pick up a joystick, guys. I'm a huge fan of flying in Battlefield games. Tanks are a little overpowered in Battlefield 1 simply because there isn't enough options in the beta to deal with them. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with the tanks, but they are powerful, and you just gotta love some of the early day tanks. They just have guns sticking out of every single corner and angle, so you can really pack in a lot of players. Perfect for like big squads if you're rolling around with like a group of 5, just jumping in one of those clown car tanks. It's pretty funny. Some of the things I didn't like though was the accuracy with most weapons past 75 meters. It was a little underwhelming, especially for like the medic class, specifically the gun I was using a lot, like the Regati. It takes about 4 body shots as well, so it does take a lot to put somebody down in Battlefield unless you're using some of the scout classes, but I'm sure that hardcore servers will fix that down the road, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. The Cavalry was the best surprise to the beta in my opinion. I'm just surprised on how fun it was running through the desert, slashing your opponents down or using the repeater rifle, and it actually works better than you'd think. Although you're still really exposed to experienced snipers, this was definitely a great move on DICE's part, and you gotta love it. Overall, the game feels and plays like a Battlefield game. Surprised? Nah, you probably shouldn't be. We've known this for a while from the alpha footage and the closed beta players. This is a typical Battlefield shooter with period weapons that have been sprinkled, in my opinion, with a little bit of fantasy. This isn't going to be a trench warfare game like Verdun, it's going to be your typical run-of-the-mill run-and-gun game. Sure, you can play the slow card and sneak around the map, but with so many people with optics, well, good luck with that. That's about my first impressions of Battlefield 1 so far. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the game in the comment section below, and let me know if you guys want to see some more Battlefield gameplay before the beta ends. Still got a couple days left, so I want to jump into some airplanes and definitely make a couple fighter plane videos for you guys, and maybe a few other weapons I'd like to test out. Well, I hope you guys found this video useful to kind of determine if this game lived up to the hype or not. It's definitely a really fun game. The price point is a little steep, but who knows? I mean, I just want to know what you guys have to say in the comment section below. I definitely have a lot of fun with it, but it isn't anything different. You know, it's still more of the same, even though we're set in a different time period. But, you know, for most people, that's okay.